Therefore, the following instructions become very important. It's interesting. This, of course, is a willful approach to try to get the best deal you can get. But actually, the best way is to surrender and say, oh God, whatever you want, I surrender to. And let me be guided to whatever rebirth is best in your eyes. But lacking such an approach, you would say this: if you have not understood what has been happening to you, at this moment, through the influence of your own past deeds, you will have the impression that you are either ascending, moving level, or going down. Those having the feeling of going down will have the impression of arriving at a place of happiness. Now, if you fail in this approach, then you will see images of males and females in sexual intercourse. This is one of the strong attractions into being reborn. It's the desire for sexual contact. Through physical bodies, we feel that this can be fulfilled. It's not true, but we feel that. And we'll have these images. And these images of sexual contact between males and females draws us into a rebirth situation. When this occurs, withhold yourself from going between the male and the female. Maintain this withholding, and you will not be born into an undesirable body. If you should fail in withholding yourself, you will feel yourself entering into a womb, and you will have feelings of attachment and repulsion. So you'll want that contact, that sexual feeling, and so you'll come in between the male and the female, and you'll go right into rebirth. If you are about to be born a male, you will have an intense repulsion toward the father, an attraction toward the mother. And if you are about to be born a female, you will have an intense repulsion to the mother and attraction toward the father. Here's the basis of the Oedipus complex structure. Well, this comes from this: having taken a position, you can be attracted or repelled. So whether it's male and female, you'll be either attracted or repelled from them. If you cannot take a position, then you have liberation. So that's the point, is to not try to do anything. And then you'll be liberated. Be neither attracted nor repelled toward either the mother or the father, but hold in your mind the beingness of father-mother. Combination, father-mother, combined. This is God. And you will succeed in maintaining, and if you succeed in maintaining this thought, you will not be born into an undesirable body. But if you should fail at this, they give this guy lots of chances. But if you should fail at this, you will experience hallucinations of crashing sounds and frightening apparitions. Realize that these are but phenomena of the mind and are as dreams. Ignore them and be dispassionate. If you succeed in ignoring them, you will not be born into an undesirable body. If you fail to ignore these hallucinations, there's one last method to be used. Number 5. Think this thought: all things are my own mind. Holding this thought, allow the mind to rest in the uncreated state, like pouring water into water. Now that part is correct. And you will succeed in being free of an undesirable body. The various methods given above for staying out of undesirable bodies are powerful, and it is impossible that through the use of them, that people of the most average or the lowest abilities would not be liberated. You might ask, why should this be so? Firstly, it is because in the after-death experience, the deceased possesses supernormal powers of perception, and whatever is said to him is apprehended immediately. Secondly, although the deceased may have been impaired in some of his physical faculties, in the after-death experience they are all perfect. Thirdly, due to the tremendous necessity of achieving release from the mind because of its awesomeness, the deceased will think, what is the best thing to do? And will be very attentive to what you have to say. Well, the final act. And since he is unimpeded, he will go immediately to whatever place you direct him to. So whatever you say, he can just do it like that. And fourthly, the deceased is 10 times more lucid than before, and even though stupid before death, at this time his intellect is exceedingly clear and capable of holding thoughts exceedingly well. For these reasons, many opportunities are given in the foregoing guide to take advantage of the after-death state. There are nevertheless people who, even though reminded and instructed, are not liberated by the foregoing. Once more, call the deceased and say to him as follows. When it becomes certain that you are going to be born, choose the continent and country of your place of birth. Desire to be born into a country of spiritual advancement. You will feel the driving compulsion in fleeing from the mind to enter into any body. However, ignore such compulsive desires, and you will attain the power to select the body of your choice. There are 2 ways to choose. 1, hold in mind the thought of being with a spiritually minded people of wise understanding. Or 2, conceive of the type of person you would like to be and hold on to this thought. That thought right there is usually the last thought that the person will have before they're reborn. And that one is the easiest one to remember. That I want to be this kind of a person. And if you try very hard to recall the thought just before your rebirth or re-entry into a body, it will say, oh, I want to be this kind of person or lead this kind of a life. Enter only into a body for which you feel no repulsion or attraction, that can have a mood of complete impartiality. If it is not possible for you to rid yourself of attractions or repulsions, or desires to be good or desires to be evil, conceive of the most noble being that you can imagine and hold on to the thought of this identity. Read this guide carefully and with intention at least 3 times, and you have helped your fellow being on the road to self-liberation. Well, as you can see, it needs considerable revising, but the principle is correct. Now we're going to take a 15-minute break, then have whatever questions that you have ready, and if they're written out, I'd appreciate it. They could be handed up here, and then I could go through them quickly and do my best to answer them thoroughly.
This has been a discourse by Yogeshwar Muni on the after-death experience. This tape recording is copyrighted by the Sanatana Dharma Foundation, 2970 Russell Street, Berkeley, California, 94705, United States of America.